So what do you do when somebody's in your space in your life? What do you do when somebody's sitting in your seat? So you get on the airplane, you check your ticket. You checked your ticket a couple of times, 2 or 3 times to be exact. I mean, you're prepared, right? You know what's going on. And then you get there and somebody's sitting in your seat, and they look at you and they're like, "This is my seat." You say, "No, I'm pretty sure this is my seat." Do you buck up? You put your armor on? You get ready? This is the battle ensue? Is this what happens? How many times in your life has somebody been in your space? Maybe not on an airplane, but maybe they're writing on the same topic you are. They're researching the same topic you are. They're doing the same things you are. They're running the same race you are. How do you respond to that? What does that look like? You put your armor on? Get ready for battle? Well, in the consulting class I'm teaching, the changing consulting class, we've talked about observation, reaction, judgment, and intervention. So here's a real life example of how that happened. Now look, this is gonna be kind of awkward because I filmed the video just after it happened. Hadn't fully processed everything. So here we go, let's check it out. See what happens. Yeah, so it's late and I'm tired. And it is currently 9:50. And I haven't eaten dinner yet, but I've got a lobster roll hanging out right over there. Look, I wanted to give a little context to what you're going to see here in a few minutes. I have a chance to meet a guy by the name of Jeremy today. And in my org change and consulting class that I'm teaching at the University of Louisville, I've challenged my students to really think about how we interact with people and how our reaction and our emotions and our thought processes, they all enter into this intention phase and how we act outwardly toward other people. And so I think what you're going to see is a conscious stream of emotions and reaction and thought around how I met Jeremy, how I interacted with Jeremy, what that interaction meant to me in the moment, and also, perhaps most importantly, like the history and the baggage that I brought with that. I've had a chance to interact with people like Jeremy before on an airplane, and it didn't go so well. And my recollection of that, my history of that, remembering those moments was really key to how I initially reacted to him. But in the moment, I realized, gosh, I had gotten wrong information. This person wasn't trying to do something deliberate. This was really about how this was an honest mistake, and then how I respond to that in the moment. One of the things that I've talked about with my class is that this stuff is real life. It is so much about change. It is so much about consulting. It is so much about how we work with clients in really, really helpful ways. And Edgar Schein talks about that. Always try to be helpful. Always try to assess your ignorance. Like, evaluate the situation. What are the assumptions that you're working on that may not be correct? And I was excited to find an opportunity in my own life today to share this with you guys, to kind of be vulnerable for a minute. And what you may see is crazy, and you're going to see awkwardness, and you're going to see a misunderstanding, like not having like these coherent thoughts. But I think that stuff is real life. So this is my friend Jeremy, and I met Jeremy today, and when I got on the airplane today, Jeremy was in my seat. And as I fumbled through my ticket really quickly to see, all right, what seat am I in? Do I double check this? And I had double and triple checked already that I knew what seat I was getting into. And I looked at this guy who was clearly sitting in my seat. He was comfortable. I said, "Hey man, you're in my seat. I'm in 13B." And he looked at his ticket. He was like, "I think I'm supposed to be here." My past experience would lead me to believe that when somebody's in your seat, it's going to be a battle. I've had stuff thrown at me. I've had people flip their trays up. I've had people say curse words to me. I've had a lot of things done on an airplane when somebody's sitting in my seat because I don't want to move. And so today, I was prepped for battle when I saw this guy. So my initial background, my history, all the baggage that I bring with me into this situation begins to put on the armor, right? And I'm no longer vulnerable. What I am is I'm getting ready for battle. And so he's looking at his ticket, and he's clearly kind of fumbling through trying to find his ticket. He gets to a text message, and he says, I don't fly very often. And it was immediate to me that there was some new information that was coming into play. There was something about this situation that I believed I had misjudged. Now, if you're not in our ORJI consulting class, and you're watching this on YouTube or you're watching this on Facebook someplace, Shine talks about this model called the observation, reaction, judgment, intervention model, ORJI model. And the very first trap that Shine talks about is this misperception trap, this idea that we misread the situation, we react based on our past experiences, and that we do so in a way that's not very helpful. And so it became pretty apparent to me that I had misjudged the situation. I had gone into battle when I didn't need to be going into battle. What I needed to be doing is trying to be helpful. And so I readjusted really quickly on the fly. I said, hey man, what seat are you in? You stay here, let me sit here. And he wasn't nervous, but he was clearly a little bit flustered. But I think there's 100 people on the plane. This guy's like, yeah, hey man, you're in my seat. What are you doing in my seat? And everybody's kind of judging you. There's this like social pressure that's building on the plane. I'm backing up the line. I can't get can't put my bag away. We can't take off. So right then was an opportunity for like realignment in my reaction. So instead of saying, listen man, you need to get out of my seat, I say, hey, where are you sitting? Let me just go sit there. It's fine. Now, when he did that, and I figured out where he was sitting, he had a way better seat than I did. He had a window seat, and I was couched in between these two guys in the middle seat on the way to Atlanta. And I gave him the option. I said, would you rather sit here? Would you rather sit here? He said, well, I'll get up in both. It'll be fine. I'll get up in both. And so he gathered his belongings. He said, oh, I'm so sorry. I said, hey man, it's no big deal. It's fine. And the emotional response there, the reaction is, I hope, diffusing the situation. That this isn't a situation of being upset or being embarrassed or awkward in any way, but really just being like, hey man, how do I help you? Like, how can we make this better for all of us? So he gets up, he moves, he sits down, everything's fine. And I think about it throughout the entire plane flight. Here's a guy who doesn't fly a whole lot, who's come to Louisville. This is his first time going home. And I'm the guy who's asking him to move seats. So I wait for him afterwards, grab my picture with him, and start kind of small talking. I'm like, hey, what are you doing in Louisville? And he says, I came to a music festival here, Bourbon and Beyond. It was awesome. Got to see the Foo Fighters. I said, man, it's terrific. Way to go. Good for you. And then I said, hey, do you know where you're going here in the Atlanta airport? It's a really big airport. And he said, yeah, I think I know where I'm going. So I said, are you sure? So he pulls his ticket up. So he didn't need me to figure out where he was going. He kind of allowed me to help him. And his gate was just down a couple of gates from where we were. But it was just a reminder of how we can go into situations armored up, battle ready to go, I'm in this, when really what we've done is misjudge the situation. And it's just a good reminder for me of how we use the ORJI model, that cycle, and how emotions and cognition gets wrapped up in these situations. So a couple of lessons from here. One, always assess your ignorance. Always evaluate the situation. What am I making assumptions about or making intentions about that I may not be fully aware of? What are the assumptions I'm overlooking here? Number two, always try to be helpful. That's Shine's number one rule. Always try to be helpful. And number three, and this isn't a Shine rule, but something that I've come across the last few days is try to extend kindness where you can. Where when there's an opportunity to extend a helping hand or to be kind to somebody, that we take the chance. So here's the other thing. I think it's really important for us to remember, as consultants, as leaders, as parents, as friends, people, what it was like for us to do something the very first time, and how we can make some assumptions about how easy something is and how quickly we can jump to making conclusions. So if we remember how it was the very first time that we rode an airplane, the very first time that we wrote a paper, the very first time that we used a laptop or sent an email, And now when somebody's frustrated with that, we misperceive that observation. It's really important for us to understand the observation of that. It's important to take a step back from that. Check it out, and here's my challenge for you. I would encourage you to find a way to respond to people that is authentic, that is real, that is in the moment, that is maybe totally irrational, but that is grounded in understanding, explicit inquiry, questioning, silence, and being there with somebody. So meet my friend Jeremy, meet me, and I hope you take a lesson of kindness away from this. This is all about connecting with people, being there in the moment, and treating people with kindness. And Jeremy taught that to me today, and I'm super, super grateful for that.